All right, let's talk about the hydrogen sector. It's absolutely booming right now. A huge opportunity for sure. But there's this one critical hurdle, something most people miss, that's literally stopping companies in their tracks. So, what is it? Let's get into it. So first, let's just wrap our heads around the scale here. We're talking about a potential $2.5 trillion market. I mean, that's not just big, right? That's a complete game changer, a fundamental shift in our entire industrial landscape. The opportunities for companies that get in early, they're just unprecedented. But, and this is a huge but, here's the catch. A staggering 73% of all these hydrogen projects just stall. They never even get off the ground. Think about that for a second. In a market worth trillions, almost 3 out of every 4 projects are failing to launch. That's just wow. So that brings us to the big question, right? In a market this massive, with so much potential, so much investment pouring in, why? Why are so many projects failing to even get started? What is going on here? Well, it turns out when you dig a little deeper, you see 2 really distinct paths emerging for companies in the space. And depending on which path a company is on, the outcomes are, well, they're dramatically different. And this is what it actually looks like. You've got the leaders on one side. They're the ones snapping up lucrative contracts, grabbing market share, and really positioning themselves as pioneers in sustainability. And then you've got the laggards. They're just stuck, mired in these endless feasibility studies, struggling to get approvals, with their projects just dragging on for months, sometimes even years. It's a total stalemate. I mean, the difference is just night and day. So, you have to ask, what's the secret sauce here? What is the real advantage that the leaders have? Is it better tech, more money, the right connections? What is it? Okay, and this is where it gets super interesting, because the answer might surprise you. It's not the technology. A lot of the time, both the leaders and the laggards have access to pretty similar innovations, similar talent. The real advantage, that hidden hurdle we talked about, it's something else entirely. It all boils down to one critical skill: value communication. And what is that? It's basically the executive skill of being able to take all the complex, technical stuff and translate it into a language that decision makers and boards actually understand. You know, the language of financial value and return on investment, the bottom line. So what this really means is shifting the whole conversation. You go from talking about technical specifications to talking about financial outcomes. You move from just doing yet another feasibility study to actually getting the project approved. It's the huge difference between explaining what your technology does and explaining why it matters. And look, the stakes here really couldn't be any higher. One analysis put it perfectly. Companies that master this critical skill are capturing market share, while others remain stuck in endless feasibility studies. That's it right there. A direct line from a soft skill, communication, to hard, real-world market success. So we'll leave you with this to think about, especially if you're in this space. Ask yourself this: when you're talking about your hydrogen projects, is your board hearing about the technology, or are they hearing about its value? Because really, the answer to that question could decide which of those 2 paths your company is on.